Okay, so we're going to move on to second, maybe 3 videos I think for this, and we'll talk about else if, and we'll also just refresh a little bit on the comparison operators. So starting with the comparison operators, like these are I think pretty straightforward. It's a way to compare 2 things. To greater than, this is maybe, you know, you might see this in math, but like how it gets written in code is a little bit weird, like greater than and equals. It's, you know, just how we write it. Normally if we're writing it in, like in math class, it'd be like the sign and then the equals thing underneath, but you can't do that in code, so we just write it like this. Equals equals, not equals, you know, equals equals I think is easy. Easy to understand. The challenging part here is to remember to use the double equal sign and not just a single equal sign. Single equal sign is used to assign a value, not to compare 2 values. So like if we want to set something, define an integer or something, we use the equal sign to set it up. Equal equals is used to compare. Just a little part of coding. I think that's pretty common across languages. On the other side, this not equals. Yeah. So hopefully those are straightforward, and you'll kind of figure them out as you use them. The last thing I want to do in here, we talked about code indentation in the previous video, the else if statement. So it's really not that big of a deal. It's, you know, just like what we had here. We had if statements, we had else statements, and we can also write in an else if. And I want to write an elif, but in Java it looks like this: else if. Am I correct? Yeah, good. Else if, and it's going to work the exact same way as an elf. Like elf, I don't know why I said elf. There's an if statement, like open brackets, close brackets, open brackets, close brackets. The way this is going to work is, it's basically like if this thing doesn't work out to be true, like, you know, 3 is less than 2. If this doesn't work out to be true, then we'll go down into here and we will check this condition to see if it's true. So in this case, 3 is less than 2. Like, that's not true. Okay, we'll skip down to here. We'll say 12 greater than 8, 9, whatever. System out print. I wonder if there's got to be some sort of special command here to make that print out. Else if. I'm boring. So when I run this, this first set of code is going to evaluate to be false. 3 is not less than 2, so it skips down to the next line to see if that's true. Okay, 12 is greater than 9. It's going to run this statement, and then it's going to exit the whole block. Won't run this at all. So as soon as one of these things is true, it's going to run that code and then exit the line. So how that might be important, like if I run this, oh, well, not that, I don't know what that is. 3 is greater than 2. When we run this code, it's going to check and see, is 3 greater than 2? If that is in fact true, it's going to run this code and then exit the entire block. Let's say, and let's put something down here. Exited block. Let me run. 3 is greater than 2. It's going to print this out, and then it's going to jump down to the end. It's not going to, even though this is true, 12 is greater than 9, it's never going to get there because as soon as this ends up being true, it skips out to the end. So the rest of the parts are never evaluated. So that's a really important part of your coding, just to be aware of like how this works. Yeah, don't expect that it's going to run through everything. Computer's very dumb. As soon as it gets at your answer, it's done.